Hey. Hey everybody, it's me, FireWizard23. I just want to do a little quick video here because I came up with something as I was searching around Google. Something that was kind of interesting. Let me just pull up the page here so I can look at it. I pulled up a list of... I've gotten really into RPGs lately because I'm actually realizing how much they make a gaming experience just last longer. And I pulled up a list here of RPGs for the Nintendo Entertainment System, and on this page it lists The Legend of Zelda in just kind of an order here by just... was it default order? I think it said this was originally by rating of people thought. Puts The Legend of Zelda first, Zelda 2: The Adventure of Link, Final Fantasy, Castlevania II: Simon's Quest, Dragon Warrior 4, Star Tropics, Shadowgate, Crystalis, Faxanadu, I have no idea how to say that, Dragon Warrior 3, Zoda's Revenge, Star Tropics 2, Dragon Warrior 2, Willow, Deja Vu, Uninvited, Ultima Exodus, Legacy of the Wizard, Swords and Serpents. Oh, wow, I haven't played that game in a long time. Wizardry Proving Grounds of the Mad Overlord, Advanced Dungeons & Dragons Pool of Radiance, Advanced Dungeons & Dragons Heroes of the Lance, Bard's Tale, Ultima Quest of the Avatar, Little Ninja Brothers, Advanced Dungeons & Dragons Hills Far, Hydlide, Pirates, Ultima Warriors of Destiny, that's 5, Tombs and Treasures, Ferael, A World of Mystery and Danger, The Legend of Ghost Lion, Magic of Shahrazad, Magician, Wizardry 2, Knights of Diamonds, Final Fantasy 2 for the Japanese, Final Fantasy 3, Super Black Onyx, which, these are all Japanese at this point. Anyone that's not... Oh, I didn't know there was a Yi-san Japanese. Okay. Was there more on the list? Yeah, okay. But let's just... I want to talk about some of these, because it brought up a really interesting idea in my mind, which is that, what defines an RPG? I would not define, for example, The Legend of Zelda to be a role-playing game, because... I guess let's go with the most classic... What do I consider a role-playing game? Role-playing game means you assume the role of a character. Okay, so that Legend of Zelda would fall in that category because you're playing Link. You're playing an actual character. Although one could argue pretty much any video game classifies as that because you play something or someone. But you have to playing the role of a character. You have to be involved in the development of that character's skills, and that's kind of through either a measured system like experience points, or that they gain new skills and attributes. I would argue that in The Legend of Zelda that doesn't happen. Link doesn't really change in the first game that much. In the second game, yes, he does develop, he does grow, so I would argue that Adventure of Link is an RPG. I would not even debate that, especially with, I guess if something has an experience point system of some type, I would classify it as an RPG. But Legend of Zelda, I'm sorry, I don't classify the first Legend of Zelda game as a role-playing game. It's a good game. I don't define it as a role-playing game. What I would define it as, I'm not sure. Would you define it as an action game? It's an action RPG, maybe? That's kind of stretching it, because there's no development of the character. Final Fantasy, hells yeah, because there's experience point systems. Castlevania 2, yes, I would define that, because, again, there is an experience system, and the character becomes stronger through that system. Oh, no, wait a minute. I guess I would define Legend of Zelda to be an RPG then, because he does actually acquire things through his actions. Like, you build up, you buy things, and you gain more powers and stuff. Okay, so I guess I would. I guess in that classification you could. I guess it depends how you classify it. I think Dungeons & Dragons kind of set up a very, kind of a gold standard, like, this is what role-playing is. Because there's experience, and there's measures, and your action. And experience, and it's measured, and you're doing this and that. So that kind of more classifies RPGs. So Final Fantasy, Castlevania 2, yes, I would define that. Dragon Warrior, hell yeah. That's pretty much an RPG to its T. Star Tropics? I still say with kind of the Legend of Zelda thing, you're kind of stretching it, though. That you're kind of stretching a role-playing thing. And it doesn't necessarily have to be a level of time that's spent on it. Not really. It's... put your comments down below in this video. What do you think is an RPG? It's an interesting discussion. I would not define Shadowgate to be an RPG. I'm putting my foot down. Shadowgate is not a role-playing game. Shadowgate... I define Shadowgate more to be an adventure game rather than a role-playing game. No. Not that. Same thing with Uninvited or Deja Vu, because I think Deja Vu and Uninvited and Shadowgate pretty much are on the same engines. Crystalis? Action RPG. I could go with that, because there is an... well, no, it's kind of an RPG, I guess. There's action. It's just... I mean, we kind of blur the lines here. What is this and what is that? We do kind of blur that a little bit. Fandaxu, I have not played that. I've seen playing of it. Oh, no, I have played Fandaxu. I guess it is. It's brutally hard, but yes, it is an RPG. Action RPG. 3, Zoda's Revenge, Star Tropics 2. Well, again, I've never seen gameplay footage of that, and I go off Star Tropics just talking about it from H.C. Bailey, from H.C. Bailey's Let's Play. I guess that would be an RPG. Willow? Never played Willow. I can't speak to that. Surprised Robin Hood Prince of Thieves isn't on this list, because I would definitely argue that as a role-playing game. If anything, just a playing of the movie. Ultima, definitely. Legacy of a Wizard. More of an... Well, there's Magic? Ugh, you get into some really shady categories there. I guess the classification is the issue, like how to be classified. Swords and Serpents, definitely. Haven't played that game in a while. Wizardry. Wizardry is definitely an RPG, if not a brutal one. Dungeons & Dragons, hell yes. Little Ninja Brothers. I might play that game one day, by the way. Little Ninja Brothers. RPG or not. It's kind of like Magic Scheherazade because it has elements that are... I guess I would say it has role-playing elements. I wouldn't define it puristically as a role-playing game. Final Fantasy, I would say, is a pure role-playing game. Dragon Warrior is a role-playing game. Dungeons & Dragons is a role-playing game. Things like Little Ninja Brothers, The Magic of Scheherazade, have role-playing elements. They are not necessarily role-playing games, and I wouldn't classify them solely as role-playing games. You gotta have to make like Venn diagrams here, like have the overlapping sections. Like this is where I would place this game. It is this, but it is not that, or it has both these elements, or it's neither of these elements. Hide Glide. However begrudgingly, Hide Glide is a role-playing game. I can't deny that because you level up, your character gets stronger, weakly stronger, but yes. Ultima, hell yes. Tombs and Treasures, I'm actually going to sit down and play Tombs and Treasures one time because I never have. I saw its promotions in like video game magazines. I'm like, wow, that looks really, really cool. I'd like to play that, and I just finally got a copy of it. It's ROM. And I'm gonna try it and see how it is. Because I saw things about it. It looked really cool. Like, I'd like to give it a try. Faria, World of Mystery and Danger? No, don't know. Ghostline, again, Ghostline weakly classifies itself as an RPG. It really is incredibly simplified. Again, Scheherazade has role-playing elements, but it is much more of an action game. You know what? The Scheherazade, Castlevania 2 Simon's Quest, and Little Ninja Brothers, they actually kind of fall into the Quest for Glory category. They are adventure games with role-playing elements, because that's what those games are, with the exception of Dragonfire number 5, which is an RPG with adventure elements. Magician. Well, this is interesting. When did I define Magician to be a role-playing game? Ooh. Watched Deceased Crab's playthrough of that. You do gain spells, you do get experience. You know, it's an RPG. You know, that is an RPG. Magician is a full RPG. I would argue an RPG with adventure elements it has. Because you have, like, boss fights and stuff. Final Fantasies are definitely. Fire Emblem is definitely. So yeah, if anyone has really kind of opinions or want to start a discussion down below, go ahead. What's an RPG? What defines an RPG? I would say it's that you're playing a character, you work through the development of that character either through either through the acquisition of experience points or the gaining of skills as he develops. And it takes place over basically a measured period of time. There has to be a measured period of time. I would not define a game that you could blow through in like 10 minutes through power-ups. Like, oh, I'm developing the character. Like, no. That's not roleplay because that just occurs too quickly. Roleplaying takes place over a series of time, be it game time, real time, or game time. It happens. So, all right. I'll see everybody later. Bye-bye for now.